Hello there, guys. This is Prussian Prince, and I'm here with GD. Hey,
Hello, guys.
so this is a Agony 1v1 Championship 2012, called the Samurai Edition. Now in the playoff stages, and some matches have already been played. This will be another match, a very anticipated match. I should say it's a Killerfisch from TWR versus Pointman from Warriors of Crom. So I'm going to be showing up the brackets so you can see the status of the other matches. You guys can see that I played against Sirs Levanov and I won 3-1. There was another game played by LSR against Resin Orden. LSR won 3-0 over Resin Orden. That was kind of expected. Not such a... I guess people were expecting maybe like 3-1, but I don't think they were expecting like a flat out 3-0. As for the other matches, Miv versus Eisenkur, probably say Miv was the favorite there too. So not a big surprise that he won. As for Jix versus Angelos, I think Jix had more momentum going into it by beating Quitchy and Sprint in the second group stage, but somehow he still lost Rio, so that's very surprising, I would say. Then another upset, Indigo versus Gigi, and Indigo actually was like a huge favorite over there, and he lost against Gigi 3-1 at that. Alright, so it looks like Killerfisch is ready, Pointman is ready, so we might be going to the game fairly soon. Just so you guys know, this is a best of 5, and the first 2 games will be played on Krubbe Gorge. Next 2, well, could just be next one match. Depends on how first 2 games go and that match goes. They're on God, what's the name of the map? Crossroads.
I think
After
it's
that,
Aki.
no, it's
Oh,
Crossroads, and after
Crossroads.
that, it's Gunma Field if necessary, as the tiebreaker.
Awesome.
So
So,
yeah,
what are your
standard.
predictions?
I'm going with Killerfisch 3-2. So that's my
Killerfish
prediction.
3-2. I'm guessing the game is loading right now.
Yeah, the game is loading right now.
Yeah, it's the reason I can't get in. Like I can't. I alt tabbed and.
All right, just wait, I guess. Hopefully nothing weird happens.
So, what do we know about the players here, Prince? What do we know about this styles? We obviously know that Pointman favors the sort of melee rush build.
Yeah.
Sometimes mixes in some guns. It's sort of like his iconic style. What do we know
Um,
about his opponent today?
I've seen that Killerfisch uses rushes. He uses artillery. He uses strong cavalry builds. So he's a fairly versatile opponent to face. And he usually uses at least, yeah, he usually uses, I think, rank 6 or rank 7 Yariki. And he does like Imperial Guard cavalry too, so that's the other thing that I know about him. But yeah, he just has a lot of builds that he can use. So yeah, Pointman is gonna be the attacker this game. See how he can attack. What are your predictions though, as you haven't said anything?
Well, I'm looking at the armies right now. I don't want to say too much, because the match hasn't actually started. But from the looks of it, I would give the distinct advantage to, let me see here. I guess every match depends on micro, but I think this is actually going to be easy mode for Killer, at least in this match.
Well, we'll have to see. 'Cause
Judging from the positions of the dojos, it's going to be hard for Point Man to take the workshop, and I think that's the building he needs most in this kind of environment. But again, we'll see. I think the total match predictions, I haven't really seen, like, I've seen a couple of replays for Killerfisch, like on YouTube. He looks like a very solid, talented player, but I really don't know enough about him to be making judgment calls. But I think best I could say is that for the first match, at least, I think if he uses his army well, he's just gonna have an easy time.
So it looks like both players are ready, I think, so we're probably going to be going into the game soon, and if we do get into the game soon, I'm going to go over Point Man's build, if we get into the game anytime soon.
And they're both ready, it appears.
Right. So there we go. For Point Man, we've got in the front 3 units of Spear Levy, and on each of his flanks he's got 2 Yarikachi vanilla, and he's got 3 Shogita units, all of them rank 6. And he's also got a unit of Yarikachi that is rank 4, I think, on his right flank. And more spears in the rear, Yarikachi vanilla, Spear Levy also vanilla, and his general full Bushido, Imperial Guard Cav, and I think some, yeah, 2 Imperial Guard Cav it seems, and nothing else. That's all his Cav. Nothing else at all.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through Killerfish's army. Killerfisch has brought a very, I would say, original, or sort of a build that you don't really see a lot of. He's got a lot of cavalry on the field right now. His general's bodyguard is actually a gun general. He's got a lot of Yariki, a lot of upgrades on them, and revolver cavalry as well to be doing some backside skirmishing here. More Yariki on the left flank, and the rest of his cav force here has just come out of hiding, and that is an Imperial Guard cavalry with 150 range. So he also has some guns. 4 units of line infantry, a white bear on the right side here. We see some upgrades, not a lot. He's keeping efficient. Then he has one here with 1 upgrade, another white bear, and on the left flank he is going for taking the workshop, or securing the workshop, with 2 black bear infantry. One of them is superior in terms of its upgrades, a lot of upgrades on that one, and he's given it 150 range. And the other one has an ammunition, I think, no, it has a reload skill boost. I think that's from the general.
Here we go. Looks like Point Man's rushing up the hill, and Killerfisch is sending his white bears a bit too far ahead. I think they're probably gonna get killed if he doesn't micro them back. There we go. He's gonna micro them back, but I think the Imperial Guard Cav of Point Man's probably gonna get some shots off before it gets out of range.
So I mean, this is a very skirmish heavy build, obviously, on Killerfish's part. If Point Man manages to hold his army down or catch some units, he's gonna make his life a lot easier, and you can see that Point Man's going for that. He's rushing after this white bear here in the middle, but at the same time, if you look at the map, Point Man is slowly but surely getting surrounded. The workshop, it looks like, is now being taken by Killerfisch, but Point Man has secured the shrine, which I think is going to be a very important dojo for him in this battle.
Killerfisch is sending revolver cav around Point Man's army, so maybe Killerfisch is going to try and snipe Point Man's general with his revolver cav if Point Man isn't looking, so maybe something's going to happen with that revolver cav. I have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it's trying to capture the sword dojo as we speak. That's weird. The sword dojo isn't being captured. I think it's because he has a gun general and he hasn't dismounted yet. So a little engagement happens here. The white bears initially get caught of Killerfisch. Point Man doing a good job with his own cavalry. He's pushing forward, shooting them in the back as they retreat. You know, he's hitting the parts of his enemy's army that are going to be the easiest targets for his cav to skirmish against, and probably doing the most damage. Here's a charge from Killerfisch.
Into spears though, so I'm not sure how effective that's gonna be. I mean, he's
Yeah,
gonna take a lot out of those Imperial Guard cab, but he might lose men. I don't know if he lost
I think
that much, but I
he
think
didn't
he
lose
did
that much.
okay. Yeah, but
But
now
now
he's
he's
getting
gonna get
caught.
caught.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna get caught. That was a really bad charge on his part. His general's bodyguard is now also getting charged by Pointman's Imperial Guard cavalry. Point blank charge. He's gonna drop rally and try to get out of there as soon as he can.
the
And here
Yarki
comes
of
the revolver cav.
Yarki of Killerfish coming in, and they're gonna chase away the Imperial Guard cab of.
Indeed, but there are
Pointman.
spears right there to follow up. He's just gonna run through them and chase after that Imperial Guard cavalry. And that's one of his expensive Yari key units. Here comes the revolver cab around the back. They're trying to do some skirmishing. They're going to be falling back and being pelted now by the superior Imperial Guard cavalry of Pointman. The revolver cab are a great harassment unit, but in a fight like this against an Imperial Guard cav, they're going to have a bad time. And holy crap, he just took them down.
Yeah.
Wow. Those Imperial Guard cav got caught in a very, very bad place.
Yeah. But now all of their ammo is gonna be used up on the Yarikachi. And just Pointman just has so many units that he might be able to Zerg Killerfish, but we'll have to see how Killerfish deals with it.
Killerfish still has some cav, still has a lot of guns remaining. He still has the workshop. And I think the reason he's going for the workshop is because he wants to deny Pointman the workshop more than actually needing it. And he's now denying Pointman the shrine as well.
Yeah, though, Killerfish has got a nice positioning with his guns up on that hill.
That is a very, very good position. They're going to be able to hit those units as they go up the hill at every stage, really.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's not using his Imperial Guard cab though, because he can use it aggressively now. It's just away from the battlefield, behind his lines, doing nothing. Could have been skirmishing.
Yeah, I don't understand this logic either, but I think what he's trying to do is he's probably trying to cover for the first initial kiting stage. So like what we're gonna probably see now is he's gonna begin falling back with his guns any moment now, right there. And now the units are gonna come in range of the Imperial Guard cav, and they're gonna act as a second line of fire. There you go, and he's gonna bring them forward. He's gonna take a couple shots, and then he's gonna retreat with them. And since they can reload, see, there you go. They're gonna hit, and they're gonna fall back. He's just gonna use them, I think, as an extra line to kite. Because, as you said, Pointman has a lot of units here, and he can basically Zerg his way into victory. Yeah. But very efficient kiting here from Killerfish, I think.
Yeah, probably gonna go to that red line, I think, over there. So get up on that other hill. Well,
he managed to bring the spear levy down to a whopping 51 men.
Yeah, most important thing is to take out Pointman's spears. Then the spear cavalry of Killerfish can take out the swords while the infantry fire.
And look over here on the left side, or the right side of Pointman's army. This one unit of White Bear is about, I think, might get caught by some Shogatai and some spear levies.
It's really good distraction though, because Pointman sent 1, 2, 3, 4 units for that White Bear.
Indeed,
that's overcommitting.
And notice that White Bear that was used for that distraction actually is the worst line unit that Killerfish has.
Indeed. Yeah. Guard cav, General's bodyguard, firing more shots into Pointman's.
And here we go. Looks like these Black Bears are gonna now get charged by the Shogatai. They're getting volleys. Oh!
That's the general!
What a snipe! What a snipe by Killerfish, breaking down. Pointman's general is out of the battle. That was totally unexpected.
Yeah.
He just took the general out.
Yeah, I don't have the general sounds though. So I can't hear that. It's pretty weird. But yeah, now that's gonna help out a lot.
And now he is hitting these units here on the side with his Imperial Guard cab and his generals. and his 2 line infantry units here, including this very expensive black bear, now completely out of position.
Yeah,
The
I think,
distractive force that was that white bear is also gone on the left side.
yeah, but I mean, it did a good job with what it needed to do. Because Point Man's already calling it a GG. But I think he has a chance if Killerfish messes up, which he's doing with that Yariki right now. He charged into steers, lost like 8 men.
Indeed, but it's gonna be very difficult for Point Man here. Even if he manages to destroy these guns that are now running across the bridge and the waterfall.
It's a very
These
nice
are, you know,
kiting.
exactly like what he's doing right now is he's funneling these troops in these very tight quarters, and then he's using his remaining gun units, which are cav very mobile, to just pepper and withdraw. Great kiting here from Killerfish. I think this is one of those situations, Prince, where Point Man has brought an army that, while it's a very potent army against certain builds, he just did not have the build advantage here. Like I can't honestly see how Point Man could have pulled this off, because Killerfish did the kiting properly. Sure, he made some mistakes, but
Yeah, I think
Point Man's
so
gonna need
too. 'Cause
Point Man's gonna need something special to win this fight at this stage in the game.
it was pretty much a counter to Point Man's build because Point Man had no melee cav, and so we can.
Oh,
Well, I guess that was a concession of defeat.
and no GG from Point Man here. Pulling an AG Idra in the world of Total War.
I guess so.
So I guess the reasons for that defeat are pretty obvious, but what do you think went wrong there, Prince?
Well, like you said, the build. I don't think whatever Point Man would have done in this battle, I think he would have lost because like he had nothing to stop Killerfish's shooter cap. Like he had no melee cap of his own, so he couldn't take them out. Like he only had like 2 Imperial Guard cap, and those 2 Imperial Guard cap got taken out. So he really needed more cavalry to take out Killerfish's shooter cap, because that was the main thing that Killerfish had going for him.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if you look at the unit stats here, you can see that the main killing force of Killerfish's army today was Imperial Guard cap, his general, which was a gun general, and his revolver cavalry. He did a great job with kiting overall. He used some great distractions. And you know, as you said, I think he just countered Point Man. He knew what Point Man was doing, and he countered classic Point Man with classic counter build. And you know, I think Point Man, when he brought the build, I think he was, you know, thinking Killerfish isn't gonna bring a build that exactly counters mine because he thinks I'm gonna change it up a little bit. You know, that sort of counter psychology that sometimes goes on. But I think Killerfish just stuck to basics, saw Point Man's replays most probably, and saw what he was doing most of, and he said, you know what, I'm just gonna bring an army that counters him to the T, and he did that very effectively. So now very excited to see game 2.
Yeah, pretty much as he would say in StarCraft, build order loss.
Yes, indeed.
Well, Shogun 2 is a game of, I guess, how should I say it? Like, there's a chance that your build is gonna be bad against what your opponent's gonna
Yeah,
bring.
yeah, that's.
So,
I mean, that's one of the things with Total War is that it's like no matter how much balancing CA is going to do, it's really just not that good of a competitive platform because you don't really start out at an even place. You know, in a battle like this, Point Man was at a complete disadvantage from the get-go. The map was bad for him, the army build was bad for him, and his opponent's awareness of the style of play was also bad for him.
yeah,
So everything was just going bad for Point Man in
yeah,
that fight.
I agree, but like, he did take like a huge risk by bringing that army, and it failed.
He did. He did. It's definite. I'm definitely not trying to say that
Yeah,
It's something that picking a build in this game is a huge part of
yeah,
that determines your skill.
yeah. That's true.
If you bring a good build, based on the map, you secure yourself. I always like to bring balanced armies because you never know what happens. If you go with an army that's ballsy, stuff like this could happen, and I think Point Man felt it today.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll have to see what Point Man does in the second game because I don't think he's gonna do the same thing. Like he would be literally crazy if he brought the same army after seeing what Killerfish was able to do with it. Like, unless he's got like a super special tactic we don't know about, and like I'm not sure if something like that exists. I mean, the only thing I can think of that you can do with this army is like you can force your opponent into a corner and then he has nowhere else to run, but that's really hard because if he has cavalry, he can of course run. So,
I think what's gonna happen now is knowing Point Man, knowing his style of play, knowing his sort of philosophy in battle. I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a little bit more of a balanced build on Killerfish's part because Killerfish also brought a very very risky army. Like these were two ballsy ass builds because if Point Man brought a couple of spears, 3-4 spear units, decent cav that could cancel out the cav of not completely cancel out, but remove their major umph, and some guns, and maybe like a couple of units of Shogatai, like a balanced all-around build, Killerfish would have been in a very, very bad place. And I think that's exactly what Point Man is going to do in this fight now. I think he's going to bring a balanced army. Like, he is probably going to still have a rush component in the army. He's definitely going to bring more cav, and I think he's definitely going to bring at least 2 gun line units.
yeah.
One of them will probably have 150 range because if he doesn't do that, then Killerfish is going to scale down. He's also going to bring a more sort of balanced army because he's the winner right now. He's got nothing to lose. He's going to play it safe.
Alright, looks like Killerfish needs 5 minutes.
For the finals of this tournament, we should probably cast it together and put the replay
Yeah,
over at CA's Facebook page.
that's true. Unless I'm somehow in the final. Somehow.
Uh, well, I mean, if you keep up what you've been doing, you'll have a good chance. But if you are in the final, I'm gonna find myself an awesome ass. I mean, it's hard to find someone as awesome as you to co-cast, but I'm gonna find someone, and we'll make sure. Probably Admiral Price. We'll probably send it over to freaking CA.
Or maybe you'll have CA co-commentate. That would be interesting, and you'd be like in the middle of the cast or like before the match starts, you'd be like, "Hey, please fix the avatar system in Rome 2 or something."
Uh, I think that's another thing CA could do a little bit better is they could make tournaments. Like Aggony, I think is doing a great thing here. It's bringing together a community that had to sit through so many patches and had to bear with so many bugs. to get to a stage where the game isn't perfectly balanced, but it's a place that people can be happy with. It's a place where you can anticipate your opponent fairly well, and the amount of broken things in the game are pretty much all known at this stage. So
Yeah.
I think what CA needs to do a little bit better is sort of integrate what the multiplayer community does into their sort of core message. Because so far, I think CA has merely focused on single player, and obviously single player is probably at the core of the Total War games, as unfortunate as that may sound. But I think that's changing. I think the trends are changing, and I think people like multiplayer a little bit more, and are starting to accept it a little bit better because it's just such an exciting platform. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah, it would be would be really sorry, would be really interesting to have like instead of like a Blizzard World Championship series, we'd have like a CA World Championship series.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And it doesn't have to be at an arena, and they don't have to like do coverage and shit. But they have the following on Facebook and on YouTube to make something like that happen online. And the match looks like it's gonna start.
here we go. Once again, Corrupt the Gorge, but this time Killerfish gonna be attacking. So curious to see what kind of build Killerfish is gonna bring. If he's gonna like risk again, or if he's gonna go the balanced build. Maybe he'll bring something that Pointman brought, but I doubt it though. From what I've seen of him, I haven't seen him use the kind of build that Pointman used, with like just 2 Imperial Guard Cav. I think he likes Cav.
Who? Killerfish?
Killerfish, yeah.
Yeah. I think Killerfish. I mean, from the matches I've seen from Pointman has always favored a very strong cavalry component. And that's because I think he's very confident in his rush micro, that he thinks, if I can not even kill all of my opponent's cav, if I can bring it down from being, say, 5 units to 2 units and lose all my cav and still have my main body, I'm going to win the game.
Yeah.
And most of the time he pulls it off because he's got great spear micro. He rarely lets his swords units get charged by cavalry. And up until that last game, he micros his general well. It's very hard for an opponent to sort of beat Pointman if your cab's out of the picture.
Yep, because he's just gonna zerg you.
Yes, he is. So interested to see here how both opponents do it.
I wonder how he changed their builds, and at the moment I can't see Pointman's build, so he's playing the sneaky game. Very sneaky. Yeah, I don't think Pointman will be faced by this loss at all. I think he's like, this was like his, maybe like his warm-up game, because every time well, he's told me before that in this tournament his first game was always pretty bad from his part. So
Yeah, no matter how no matter how confident you are in any game, nerves always play a big part in it. And you're right. I think this might have been his sort of like scout game, sort of like a warm-up game. And I'm sure we're gonna have a great match here on our hands. I think Pointman will not disappoint.
yeah, even game one was like, wasn't really an ownage to say that, because like a couple things different, and Pointman would have won that. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Killerfish
totally.
was like backed into a corner with his lines, so that was a problem for him. But Pointman didn't really use. He just sent 4 units towards that white player, and that was like big part of why he failed against those lines.
Also, his general got sniped in a very
Yeah.
surprising moment there. I think that was also big. I'll be right back.
All right. So it looks like Pointman's ready, just waiting for Killerfish right now. Alright, Killerfish is also ready. Here we go. The game is starting. So for Point Man, we've got Killerfish. We've got on his right flank Revolver Cavalry Vanilla, 2 Yariki rank 7, and then on his left we've got some more cav units. 2 Yariki also rank 7, and Shogunate Guard cav rank 5. So he's got 6 cav this time, and then his general. Change his general. No, it's still a full gun general. Pretty interesting. Then he's got US Marines. Yorikachi as well over here, rank 2. This one is rank 2 too. Rank 2, very interesting. Got
Alright, I am back. I guess you've
Welcome
just finished going through Killerfish's build?
No, he's got the Spear Levy over here and the White Bear, and that's it. I finished his build.
Alright, so let's take a look at Point Man's army. So, as I expected, Point Man has brought more cav this time. Some anti-cav forces, Yariki. And he has, I think, 5 of those. No, 4 of those. And a Shogunate Guard cavalry. Again, a lot of upgrades on his cav. It seems that Point Man here is still going with his Bushido general. Same Shogatai build. Some spear levies in the mix. And, you know, I thought he would bring guns, but he didn't.
I'm just gonna go for a rush then, but like Killerfish's build is pretty much the same, besides the fact that he's got a US Marine unit in his build now, and like he took out the Imperial Guard cav. I don't see it anymore.
And I think there's a very, very important point to make here. In the sort of modifications that we saw in the last fight, something that's big is that Killerfish has brought some spear units. And you know, I think he brought this in anticipation of Point Man bringing more cavalry. And he's going to try to protect his guns a little bit more. This is going to make kiting so much simpler for him. Because if, you know, if stuff doesn't go the way he wants, he could always use that spear levy to sort of hold Point Man for just a little bit. And the fact that he's pretty much guaranteed to be on a hill when he's going to get charged is going to mean that those units are going to be firing up a hill, down, and going to be being way more effective in hitting the you know, the people fighting behind the lines.
Once again, Point Man is going to have the dojo advantage, but he's not going to have the positional advantage, as was in game number 1.
In game number 1, Point Man was not the attacker, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now Point Man is forced to attack. Last game he wasn't. We'll see how he approaches this.
I think, actually... No, Point Man was the attacker last game, but now he's the defender, though he's still attacking.
Alright. Alright. Well, he has a rush build. I think you expect him to attack. But let's see how and where he decides to engage from.
So he's just gonna move his Yariki around. This is cavalry. Watch all his cav force, except 1 unit in the back.
It looks like he's gonna probably try to go through the trees here. Get some trees to cover his advance. And here comes Killerfish's general coming into the shrine, and I think he's gonna begin peppering the troops of Point Man here. Getting 15 kills so far.
Revolver cavalry needs to watch out. Revolver cavalry of Killerfish, and oh, there they go. Oh, Oh, they're actually get a really nice shot off before it got charged.
Yeah, 20. It brought them down to 27 kills. And
so, it wasn't that bad, but still wouldn't have.
It was a waste.
Great.
I think it was a waste.
Yeah, but it's better than not killing anyone. So at least he got a shot off. But oh, look at Point Man. One of his Yariki units is out of position and he got shot up.
Oh. I think he got a little bit too ambitious there and tried to charge Killerfish's general. And that Yariki is going to meet its demise. Killerfish, though, here he left a White Bear in the open. And I think Point Man is going to be able to close down here. Killerfish sending his cavalry into support. And this could be the catalyst for a cav engagement. And I think if this cav engagement goes down, Point Man actually might be in a good place. Because if he can pin his opponent's cav down right now, I think the charge and the melee attack is going to be good for him.
Killerfish didn't even get a charge off.
Ooh.
Got charged by Point Man without delivering a counter charge. More cav coming
you-
in for Point Man. He's gonna take out the white bears for sure.
If you look at the right side of the battlefield, this Marines unit already has 100 kills.
Now, Spear Levy coming in to provide us blocking force, stopping Shogatai and Yarikachi.
Yes, this is exactly what we said in the beginning, what was going to happen, and now he's going to pull back. And notice Killerfish's positioning on the hill. He's going to allow himself to fall back to a nice little place and then fire again. On the left side, the cav engagement didn't go too well to Point Man. Killerfish retreated up the hill. I think the trees also sort of nerfed the attack bonus. But it looks like the cav forces are starting to equal out here.
Yeah, and actually Point Man is breaking through and
Indeed,
on his right flank.
Yes, he has brought a Shogatai up, but that Shogatai is gonna get charged downhill by this one unit of Yariki that's actually gonna pull out instantly there. I don't think it did the charge that it probably could have done. It killed 15 men.
Oh, we have general versus general action going on by the river.
Indeed, Gun General versus Bushido General.
So Bushido General
Banzai,
should be winning that.
Raleigh, yes, it should be, but
Killerfish
look at the Yariki. Yariki coming from Killerfish. Point Man's Yarikachi isn't going to be able to catch it. And that charge is going to bring Point Man's General down to 10 men.
Oh,
But is it going to be too late? Is it going to be too late?
Oh, it's too late.
It is too late. Shogatai coming in to reinforce. Killerfish's general is gone. Point Man is going to have the cavalry success on the left flank. Point Man is breaking through.
Yeah, Killerfish doesn't have any sheer cavalry units. He doesn't have his revolver cav was killed in the beginning. He doesn't have anything left besides the Yariki and that marine unit. Yeah, he's got 3 Yariki in his marine unit. That's all. And Point Man just has so many spears, and he still has a cav unit he can use to stop the United States Marines from running away, and that's exactly what he's doing now.
You know, yeah, there we go. Killerfish needs to be charging those Shogatai and pulling out now. He can't get them bogged down. He needs to pull out. Charge, pull out, charge, pull out. But Point Man with an amazing, like that attack, I think Point Man was microing in 4 different places at once. He caught the general, he broke through the cav, he broke through the middle, he used the trees really well. And depending on how well he can continue now, he could be in for a win. But look at this surround on this Shogatai. Now he's pulling his cavalry away. He can't lose those.
Right, if he loses the cavalry, it's over, because even though it's like a full United States Marines unit, it's not
Oh, look at this counter charge against Point Man's Yarikachi. Against Point Man's Yariki. It's gonna go down to 7 men, and now he needs to pull out again. There we go.
Yeah,
He's
I
gonna
think
pull out.
Point Man's lobbing up a little too much. No.
If this Marine if this Marine stops right now, turns around and takes a shot, it's gonna kill so many freaking men.
Yeah.
He needs to stop right now.
He could chain route those units if he. But he's
Yeah,
not
he needs to
firing.
stop right now and shoot, because then he could use his cav even to come down the hill and hit them from the side. But he's just going up the hill.
Yeah, he's gonna go even farther away. Seems like he's only gonna be using his cav while letting his mains go away. And that's kind of working actually. Look at
It is. He's stretching his units out. Point Man has all of his units in loose formation, and that's to be able to catch his enemy's units. He's trying to prevent the cav from getting around and hitting the Shogatai. Those Marines are going to keep running, but notice that the Marines are winded, where the Shogatai are very tired, and here comes a charge. Oh, beautiful play. This must be very frustrating on Point Man's part, because Killerfish is making this very hard, and now those killer Marines are in place.
Yeah.
Where they can line up and take a beautiful volley. I think if they get a volley down on that Shogatai, it's out of the game.
Yeah, he needs to give an attack order, because he's still running away.
Oh, he's still running away.
Yeah, I don't... Oh.
And Killerfish trying to sneak his cav in here.
He's maybe gonna get a charge into those Shogatai, but he's gonna get caught.
Oh, he is gonna get caught. This is a huge mistake from Killerfish. He should have just took the shot.
Oh, he lost a couple men from that cav unit, and each
And notice
man
how
counts.
he's using one of his Yariki here to clean up these routing units to make sure they don't come back into the fight. Killerfish going dangerously to the corner of the map. He needs to stop running because his units are now tired. He could have taken a volley and taken out a significant amount of those Shogatai, but I don't know why he continues to run. He chooses to continue to run away from this engagement, and the only thing that this is going to do is it's going to tire his units out more.
I think Killerfish wants the shrine. That's why he is waiting. He's running away. Yeah. And actually, the Marines of Killerfish are actually faster, I think, because they're tired as well. Point man's units are exhausted.
Oh, he almost charged right into that Yarikachi. I don't understand what Killerfish is doing right now.
Oh, his Marines are getting close.
They're gonna get caught. I think they're gonna get caught.
Just about. Like, if Pointman had one unit of cav now, just one unit, this would have been over.
I think at this stage we're gonna see the Marines stopping, going into guard mode, and we're gonna see the cav coming in. But look at those Marines still running. Here we go.
Yeah, but they're wavering. They're wavering. They might rout. If they rout, it's game over. So now...
Oh, here comes the cav, and look, that cav was actually a distraction to sort of win them some time.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
He's losing more men in the Marines, because...
He is, but he has the shrine now.
Yeah. So maybe this is the time to engage. Maybe he's
gonna keep...
Yeah.
I think he's gonna keep doing this until the other cav gets in the picture.
Yeah.
And oh, a clean charge! Look at that! The Yariki actually charged against that Yarikachi, and now that Yarikachi is completely removed from the game. It's shattered.
Oh,
and look at this could be a chain route. Now you need to stop, and now you need to fire.
Oh. Oh no, Oh, he's still running away. Yeah, he's doing a great job with his cavalry. I guess
he is doing a phenomenal job right now.
Yeah.
But you know, I think there are a couple of moments where he could have just stopped and fired and won. He's gonna charge into all these Shogatai, and they're gonna hold their ground.
Yeah, I think he should have charged them while they were on open ground, not like in the forest. Because if you charge them in the forest, it's not that effective. He should have preserved his cavalry till the Shogatai of Point Man were on that open ground.
But you know, I think all this running around, all of Point Man's units are now very tired. They're all shaken. Any sort of little tip, and now I think he's gonna stop, turn on, and shoot and win the game. You need to do it now, otherwise he's just running.
Yeah, his Yariki is out of the picture, so
I don't know what he's doing. Finally, they're gonna stop. Oh, suppressive fire! Point Man's unit just stopping.
Oh, full volley.
Oh, full volley is gonna hit that Yarikachi.
What?
Is it gonna be enough? No more cav.
Oh, Yarikachi routed off the field.
No more cav. This is a Marine versus 3 Shogatai, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gonna be legendary.
Holy crap.
But I think if that Shogatai... Yeah, I think if the Shogatai stays there and doesn't rout, I think, yeah, it should be Point Man's game now.
It should be Point Man's game. You know, I think Killerfish had so many chances.
Yeah.
So many chances. Just fucking stop and shoot. And you know, he missed them. He missed them, and Point Man, the persistence of a player who wants to win. And you know, he never gave up. He's chasing that shit around for so long. And GG.
Well, he has just been rewarded.
Wow. Wow, what a game. Down to the T. But you know, I think in the end, Killerfish threw his units away.
Yeah.
He could have won that game easily. Seeing the micro and seeing the strategy that he used in game 1, I'm actually very surprised to see him lose this match. Again, I think he had the better build. But I think Point Man did a phenomenal job in his attack. He multi-pronged, he came in from all these different angles, and he got rid of Killerfish's general early in the game. And that allowed Point Man to be able to make, a headway and actually get to the position that he was in to be able to win the game. He just kept chasing those units.
So here are the stats. You can see the point man's Shogitai, Yarikachi, top 3. Killerfish, US Marines, 221 kills, Yariki, 123. General's Bodyguard, 105 kills, so very effective, but not effective enough to win them the game.
Not effective enough. I think Point Man just outplayed him.
Yeah.
And the one moment where Killerfish had a chance, he blew it.
Yeah.
And again, persistence wins sometimes, and Point Man there never giving up, and I think he deserved that fight. 1-1. What an exciting series this is turning out to be.
So we're gonna be moving on to Crossroads right now. Very interesting.
So if I remember correctly, this was a best of 5 series?
Yes,
correct?
It's a best of 5. Now we just need to play 2 games on Crossroads, and it needed one final game on Gunma Fields, and I hope it gets to that.
Yes, indeed. I hope it lasts as long as it needs to last, because this is just absolutely great. High level play from two great players, and I'm really interested to see the kind of builds that we're gonna see. But I have a feeling that if it does somehow get to the 2-2, I think Point Man is gonna just surprise us all and bring a build that he doesn't usually bring, and I think he's gonna rock it if he does that. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but Point Man, I mean Killerfish could have an ace up his sleeve as well, because he's known to bring some very high risk, high reward builds too.
Yeah, we saw that in the first game.
Yeah.
As I said, I think earlier, I think these are two very, very ballsy players.
Yeah.
They're very ballsy up front. They take their chances, and they're calculated chances. They know the risks, they know how to play the builds, and they just go for it. And as we saw last time, persistent can work, and as we saw in the first game, pre-planning can work. So it's up in the mix.
Yep, Point Man already with the trash talking, saying prepare to run again to Killerfish.
Slowly but surely, Point Man is turning into the E.G. Gregfield intro of this tournament.
And seems like are starting already. And it's Point Man attacking.
Indeed. Game number 3, 1-1, Point Man versus Killerfish on Crossroads.
Alright, so from what I can see, we've got farmhouse and sword dojo on the flanks. In the middle, we have a workshop. So probably battle is gonna happen in between sword dojo and the workshop. Point Man trash talking again, and Killerfish is like, have fun. What happened?
These builds are... I'm not gonna comment yet, but... For those of you at home, watching this on the stream or on YouTube, I'm just panning through the armies right now, and if this isn't the ballsiest motherfucking thing you've ever seen in a Total War tournament, I don't know what is. Like, what is this? Like semifinals now?
No, it's round of
Quarters?
16.
Round of 16. There were 128
sorry.
players.
32.
No,
my bad.
32. There were 128 players, and these guys are trying builds like this. Like, oh, this battle is probably going to be more amazing than the last one.
Yeah.
Balls all around.
I'm not gonna say who has the advantage. Like, I'm not even sure who has the advantage, but like, we'll have to see how the game is.
Wasn't there a fucking cav limit? Like,
No. And here we
Jesus.
go, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright.
Game
If
3.
you don't mind, I'm gonna go through Point Man's army this time.
Okay, sure.
So Point Man has got 3 units of Yari Kachi, little to no upgrades, and then the rest. No, and then he has 2 units here of more. Actually, I'm not gonna talk about them. He's got Yari Key on the left flank, a lot of upgrades. Imperial Guard Cav, 2 of them in the middle, vanilla, and on the right he's got 3 more Cav units, 2 Yari Key high upgrades, and a Shogunate Guard Cavalry. Now, I remember the reason I wanted to do this is because I remember one time in GDCT I played Point Man, and I brought, let's count Point Man's units here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Cav. I brought 9 Cav to that battle, and you know he's been holding me up for it ever since, and now he's using 9 Cav. So yeah, Point Man.
I think max, it's max 8 cav, so.
Well, it's 8 Cav and a general.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But we got a cav engagement already happening. Couldn't even go through Killerfish's build because this is going so fast. But I'd say that Killerfish is not being too careful with his Yari Key. They're now in.
His Yari Key is gonna get shredded. But you know, I think we can summarize these army builds as the following: Cav spam with spears, Cav spam with swords.
Exactly.
So engagement happened on the left. I'd say it was a sort of a balanced engagement. Now the engagement in the middle going to Killerfish's favor. Point Man needs to spread his cav out a little bit. He's using a lot of his horses. His Shogunate card cav wavering now.
Yeah.
It's chasing.
I don't know what he's doing with his cav, but he's just not being efficient with them. I mean, his Shogunate guard cav, 7 kills and down to 18 men. That's pathetic statistic. Not sure what it got.
And you know
killed
he
by.
needs his cav. He really does need his cav, Prince, because if he doesn't have cav, when you know things have canceled out, those Shogatai are just gonna shit all over his spearmen.
Yeah,
you know.
That's true.
So oh look at this, he is gonna get caught on his left wing here. 2 units of cav. Look at this. They're just gonna. Is he even looking there?
Yeah, now he's pulling back.
Now he is. I don't know why Killerfish pulled away that far. He could have surrounded that 1 Yari Key unit and had success. And now Point Man is falling back with his Yari Kachi, and I think this is going to leave a gap to allow an Hammer and Anvil. Holy volley of death.
Ooh, Imperial Guard cav. Nice volley that is.
Indeed.
He needs to be careful because his general might get caught. There he goes. He's gonna pull away his general.
So that Yari Key is actually going to charge uphill against the Shogatai. Let's see how many kills it can get.
Not
So
that
about
great.
20 kills.
Yeah.
Now they need to pull back out. Perfect timing.
So we go into that other Shogatai. And
Going to
that
the
should
other.
be
This is
more
great.
kills. Yeah.
Oh, on the left side, we've not seen what's been going on. Rally was popped. Looks like Killerfish brought his general while he hit Rally, and this is actually going to allow him to clean up the cav on the left here. His Yarikachi is being caught by a Shogatai.
Oh, Killerfish's general, he's going to relay with Imperial Guard Camp. This is so ballsy. Because if he gets shot, if Pointman turns around his other guard cab and shoots the general of Killerfish. But Killerfish has more cab incoming, so yeah.
I think this game is over at this stage.
Yeah, I think Killerfish.
I think
Yeah,
Killerfish. Yep.
it's just wow. It just ended so quickly.
Holy crap, man.
Insane.
This is quite unexpected. Really ballsy play. He didn't bring any spears. I guess he was very confident in his cav micro. And he did use his general more effectively, I think, in that fight. You know, there could be a chance. Could there be a chance? I don't think there's a chance. I mean, unless all those cav rush right into the spear units, I don't think there's a chance in hell.
Yeah.
But that Shogatai is gone. It's broken. Surrounded evenly by 2 units of
Imperial Guard Cap. Killerfish also has. Yeah, he does have that guard cav still, and his general.
That guard cav is gonna give Pointman a lot of trouble. His general, I think, is a Bushido general this time.
Killerfish's.
Yeah, Killerfish.
It's true. Full Bushido, so like you can't even. No, I mean Bushido and some other mix. Because he doesn't have heroic assault. And he doesn't have a gun, so I'm guessing it's command. Well, it has to be command.
And great move here by Pointman. He ran behind his Yarikachi. He absorbed the shot from those Imperial Guard cav units, and Killerfish now sending a lot of Yariki around the backs. And I think he's gonna sandwich. Pointman, I think, is just running forward now. This one unit of Yarikachi on the right, it's very tired, and it's probably gonna get hit by the Shogatai and then hammer and anvil. But Pointman bringing his cav back, keeping the cav close to the spearman.
Yeah,
he's gonna lose that one unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna lose that unit, unfortunately. Is he gonna be able to catch this Imperial Guard cav unit?
Nope, because they're Shogunate
he's
Guard
gonna
cav
get downhill charged by the Shogunate Guard cav. He needs to get his spears in there as fast as he can. I think this game is officially over.
Yeah. 3 units left, 4-point-man.
And there is the GG.
Yep. GG. So, it's gonna be 2-1 to Killerfish. We're gonna see if Pointman can turn this around. He's gonna have to win 2 battles in a row.
He's gonna have to pull a life here. Hopefully not drop out of Codes, but yeah.
Hopefully not that today's GSL Codes live.
Wow. Well, I mean, the cav, if the cav canceled the cav out, the swords beat the spears. It's as simple as that in this fight. That's exactly what happened. Killerfish used his cav better than Pointman. Pointman had a couple of bad engagements on the left and the middle, and in the middle, and then his spears just couldn't stand up to the swords, and he lost his skirmish cav before Killerfish's skirmish cav, and then he was left with nothing.
Yep. I mean, you see that Pointman's cav really not that great, besides one of them. The others haven't really done much, because he really mismicroed his cav. It was like his cav was supposed to win him this battle, and he didn't.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, you can see that pretty much both cav on both sides of the field didn't really get a lot of kills. I mean, 90, 91, 76, 57. These were, I think, relatively small numbers, especially for Pointman here. Pointman's armies are usually like 1,600, 1,700 plus. So this was a small army for Pointman. I think this was a little bit outside of his comfort zone.
Yeah. Well, time to see what he can bring now. He has to.
Well, he has to bring it, and he has to bring it hard. He has to show that persistence he showed in game number 2. And let's see what happens in game number 4.
Maybe it's like another ballsy move.
I mean, if he can be ballsy again now, he has balls of steel.
Yeah. Killerfisch can be ballsy, I guess, if he wants, because
I think Killerfish's style this
yeah.
whole series is being ballsy and bringing these builds that just throw Point Man off. He is reading him like a freaking book. First match, he brought an army that exactly countered him. Second match, I think Killerfisch still had the better build. I mean, he anticipated Point Man bringing more cav excellently, and he brought spears to deal with that, but he just fucked up his micro near the end.
Yeah.
And now, he miraculously brings another counter build to Point Man. He's either reading him like a book, knows him that well, or is just lucking out on these builds, or maybe a little bit of both, you know?
Yeah. I think it's just Killerfisch knows Point Man very well, and he like I know he watches replays. Like he really studies his opponents. Like, I don't know how many replays he watches, but he watches a lot.
Well, you know, when you have a game environment where build order is build order lol build composition is very important, and you know you can't do anything about it after you hit the ready button. You need to study your opponent. That there's no other way for you to be able to anticipate what your
Yeah.
opponent brings. On the other hand, you can try and play it safe and bring an army that can sort of deal with everything. But balanced armies are kind of good against everything, but they lose to, super ballsy builds that are done
Yeah.
well. Like if you bring a balanced army with some rush, some guns, some cav, and then you get rushed by, a 5 Yari Key, 1 Shogunate Guard, 1 Imperial Guard cav, and a bunch of Shogatai and Spear Levies by Point Man, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Because he's just going to overpower you with his attacking edge,
Though having specialized builds is good. Like if you're playing against someone who's like predictable, but if it's someone like I don't know, Duck, then and he's like not unpredictable. I mean, he's not predictable. Then if you bring like a specialized build for a specific build of his, and he doesn't bring that build, you're kind of screwed. So it's double-edged sword against an unpredictable opponent. But Point Man, sorry, well, Point Man, we kind of know what he usually brings, so he's always gonna have melee involved in his build. If he doesn't, like, I'm just gonna be super surprised. Maybe he's not gonna bring any melee this time around, and if he doesn't, I'm just gonna be like, wow.
If I was Point Man right now, Prince, you know what I would do? I would bring the following build. I would bring 4 Imperial Infantry. Vanilla.
Yeah.
I would bring my 2 best Marines. I would bring 3 Spear Levies. And I would bring some strong cav.
Yeah,
I think if Point Man does that, he'll win the game.
I think
because,
so.
Because the cav won't be able to move in. He doesn't really need melee because, like, so far, the melee that's been brought by Killerfisch has been a melee force that's not very powerful, but a melee force that can absorb what Point Man has. And then Killerfisch has been using his supporting units like the Imperial Guard cav, like the Revolver cav, like his general, coming in around, getting those support kills, and pulling back out. So if Point Man goes for just a standard build, standard upfront line infantry, spears, and some strong cav to back it up, I don't see how he could lose.
Yeah, I really think Killerfisch is preparing for yet another melee build. Because that's all Point Man's been doing.
Well, they're both taking their time, so a lot of mind games probably going on right now.
Yeah, Point Man was ready, but he's not ready anymore. Maybe he's changing his build. Maybe he's like doubting himself over his composition. But yeah, I sure hope Point Man wins this so we can have a Gunma Fields match.
Indeed, and it looks like Point Man has now readied up. Just waiting on Killerfisch to also ready up.
And I'll have to be right back. You take command.
Alrighty. And it looks like both players are ready now. And here we go. Crossroads. Game number 4. Killerfisch from TWR versus WOC's Point Man. Point Man needs to win this game to stay in this best of 5 series. And so far we have seen ballsy builds from both players. Very aggressive style of play. And, you know, the type of play where it's very easy to counter if you bring the right build, and it's very easy to win with if you have the wrong build and have the best micro in the world. We've seen mistakes from both sides. We've seen great moves from both sides. And as the neutral party, I really do hope that this game goes on. So here we go. Game number 4. And let's take a look at the map over here until Prince comes to join us again. So on the right side of Killerfisch, we have the farmhouse. In the middle, we've got the workshop, and on the left side, we've got the sword dojo. So we will wait for both players to Shodori up before we can talk about the builds. So it looks like Killerfisch might be ready. I don't know, is he? No, he's still rearranging his army. We can't see Point Man's army just yet. And there we go, the ready comes from Point Man. And there's the ready from Killerfisch, and I think the players are going to be starting momentarily. I'm going to start with Killerfisch's build. Killerfisch has brought Shogunate Guard Cav, a Yari Key, a Yari Key, a Yari Key, another Shogunate Guard Cav, 2 strong Shogunate Guard Cav, a lot of upgrades, and 3 Yari Key to be his sort of helping force here for his cavalry. 5 very solid cavalry units. His general in this battle is, he chose to be a gun general. No, sorry, it's a Bushido general. And then his main force is another very risky build. 1, 2, 3 very highly upgraded Shogatai, except this one with 2 chevrons. Actually, both of them only have 2 chevrons. And then he's brought a White Bear infantry and another White Bear infantry to the battle.
Yeah, by the way, I'm here now, so...
Welcome back.
Thank you. Like, I don't know what's going on. So.
Alright, well, what's going on is that Killerfisch has brought an army where he doesn't have a single spear levy. He's got 5 units of cav that are perfectly met by Point Man. And Point Man has a lot of spears in case he loses the cav fight, better Shogatai, and more guns. So this, for me, is the exact thing that Point Man needed to do. He brought everything he needed to get. He has Black Tortoise forces here at the back. His Yariki might not be able to stand up against his opponent's cav in a fight that is straight up, but he's got a lot of spears, and if he can get those cav in there, he's gonna have a good time. Killerfisch here starting to skirmish a little bit with Pointman. Pointman is gonna begin bringing his guns up. And here we go. Looks like the melee rush is going to start. And this formation is very difficult to flank. You can see Pointman is keeping a lot of his cavalry near the rear, with some spears at the side. And if he advances here in the stride that he is going now, he's going to be able to win. Oh, look at this! A frontal cav charge! The Yariki is now being used! He is going to use his cavalry to absorb the shock from the gun troops. And oh, Prince, look at this.
Really interesting move, but Pointman's gonna watch out for his general. Killerfisch coming around with the Yariki might hit the general, but Pointman sees it and he's repositioning his spear levy.
Pointman sees it.
Yeah.
And double rally here being dropped by both parties. Pointman's guns are taking shots from the flanks. In the middle, his Shogatai are in melee. They are better than the Shogatai. What the hell is Pointman? Oh, that's a Yariki. It's a Yariki chasing away the Yariki. And Pointman still has cavalry to be able to ward off the units at the back. If this game stays the way it is right now, Prince, Pointman is going to have an easy win.
Yeah, but it's hard to say. I mean, his guns are really going to give him, I feel like, the damage bonus he needs. And now Killerfisch's general is in melee with Shogatai of Pointman. This is very risky. Killerfisch gets a Yariki in.
What a charge! A little bit of a rate response by Pointman. But he responds anyway, and Pointman's units starting to waver. Those guns aren't actually doing a lot. I don't even understand how these Shogatai are losing. I guess they have a hill disadvantage and they're being overpowered. But Pointman is going to succeed in the middle. It's balanced on the right side, and he's losing on the left. But he is going to reinforce with some spear levy here on the left side. This battle is intense.
But I think Pointman's really got the edge because he's got Sword Dojo and Workshop, remember? He's got both those, so...
Oh, he manages to pull away with that left flank. He wins that fight on the left flank, and in the center he is now pushing forward with stride. And on the right side, though, he's lost his Shogatai.
Oh,
and here comes a rear charge at his general, but no! Spear levy microed perfectly here to ward the cav off.
Oh, but miss micro here from Pointman with the spear levy. Killerfisch gonna get Yariki into the Black Tortoise.
Ooh. And you can see Pointman is mainly worried about the rear of his general here. He doesn't not. If his general die, he's gonna lose. Pointman's Shogatai actually manages to reach the 2-gun units and the general of Killerfisch, and they're gonna bring one of this Yariki down to 11 units.
Oh, General of Pointman charging White Bears. Killerfisch. I think Pointman's actually gonna be able to take this.
Yeah, I think he might very well take this. It really depends here on if he lets his guns rout. He needs to move that spear levy forward now and pull that Black Tortoise out. Is he gonna do it? Not quite, but he's gonna take it, and Killerfisch knows that there is no way for him to be able to do anything about this, really. And you know how I said if he brought 4 Imperial Infantry he would win?
Yeah, and he brought 4 Black Tortoise.
He had 3 Black Tortoise, but if he had 4 Imperial Infantry, I think he would have won easier.
Yeah.
Because all he really needed was those 2 spear levies at the back. He used greatly to ward off the cav, and then he used his own cav to sort of absorb some of the melee attacks, and he only really used 1 spear levy at the front here to free up his left flank, and he had a lot of spear levies that are free. Very, very well played by Pointman, doing the right build. Now this is what I call a... This is... Would you call this a safe build?
It seems very balanced. I can
It's a
say
very
so.
balanced build.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a little powerful on the melee, but considering it's point man, I think it's very balanced
Yeah.
for his style play. And it just goes to show that sometimes you just need to go with a balanced build. Don't try anything fancy or don't try anything ballsy. Sometimes you just gotta go with a standard build because, you know, the standard builds and a skilled player that can react like Point Man reacted that game. He walked away with that game. Very, very well played on Point Man's part. GG.
GG indeed. See, unit statistics. Point Man's Yariki, rank 661 kills. Black Tortoise, 117 kills. Imagine if they were Imperial Infantry.
If they were Imperial Infantry, dude, he would have just had a field day. Because look at how many spear levies he had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He didn't need that many in that battle. He really didn't.
Yeah, and that means we're gonna go to game 5. Wow.
Game number 5. Coming soon.
Well, we got what we asked for.
Yeah, we did. A 5-game series now going up for the final match. And what better players can we ask for than Killerfisch and Point Man?
It's time to see, I think, different strategies on both sides.
This is Gunma Fields.
Yeah.
You know, this is a map that can really be used in any way. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't really have an edge for any sort of particular build. It all depends on where you engage on Gunma Fields. If you choose to make an engagement in the forest, it might favor a melee build. If you choose to stay back and maybe compromise the dojos and run with a ranged build, you could be at a disadvantage, but you can get a very nice concave once your opponent comes down away from those trees.
Yeah, when I played in the second group stage on this very map, in a tiebreaker series, I brought a no cav build, just spear levy and strong units that can fire, like marines and stuff. And it was pretty good. Like no cav at all. I just zoned everything out with spear levy and I couldn't get flanked.
You know, that's a very powerful tactic. Pike and shot, I feel, is a little bit... Maybe it's the matches that I watch or commentate, but I fear pike and shot is a very, very effective thing. I mean, no matter how good... If you've got 150 range fire units that cannot be outranged and outshot, if you've got a decent number of them, a very strong, powerful, Napoleonic kind of style line, and you've got spear levies to sort of back that up, it's very difficult for you to lose, you know?
Yeah.
Unless your opponent catches you from a side, uses trees, or, you know, if your opponent rushes better than you and you miss micro, you're kiting, in my opinion, that's really the only way a player can lose to a rush. Like, if you've got a really powerful, strong line with spear support and some cav, it's really difficult to lose unless it's, you know, you've got a major terrain disadvantage or your opponent is just so much better than you at rushing, you know?
Yeah, it's harder to make, like, I mean, with a rush, you just gotta hit the infantry with your cav and make sure that if it's like a strong, like a cav heavy build, you gotta make sure you win the cav fight and then use your cav to just take out his infantry. Because, like, yeah, that's how you do it normally. If you bring like 4 Yariki rank 6 and 2 Shogunate Guard Cav, like rank 5, rank 6, doesn't matter, just highly upgraded. And another thing you gotta do is you gotta make sure that, of course, you don't allow your opponent to kite, because if he kites, you are kinda dead. If he kites properly, yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes your units just don't respond to you,
Yeah.
Like, you tell them to attack something, you tell them to stop, they just don't respond as
Yeah,
fast.
and like if you tell them to move, sometimes the guys in the back stop and they actually fight. Don't know if you
It's
noticed that.
it's I have noticed it, and I think some of it is like on purpose by CA. Like sometimes they want to have that unit delay so it feels a little bit more real and more organic.
Yeah.
But at other times, I feel they just fucked up their code.
But yeah, gun units, I guess maybe like why some players don't use them is because they can be buggy at times. So
Yeah, I totally agree.
time to see what man Killerfish are gonna do. Killerfish, why do you make us wait? It's gonna be so intense. I can't wait. Like I'm. All right, prediction time. What do you think Killerfish White Man are gonna bring?
I'm gonna go on a limb, and I'm gonna say Killerfish is gonna bring the most normal ass normal build. Like it's gonna be so regular and ordinary that we're gonna kind of be disappointed.
Okay.
Like we're gonna sit there and we're gonna be like, wow, this is a fucking balanced build. Like I think that's what's gonna happen from Killerfish's side. Point Man's side, I think he's gonna bring a clone army to what he just brought. If it worked for you, why change it? I think he's gonna stick with that philosophy. We'll see though. Now, I just realized something. What if both players are actually listening in on the stream and change their tactics based on what we say?
That would be interesting. Point Man, bring line spam.
Line spam, white bear spam. Do it GD style. 7 white bears. 7 white bears. Do it GD style.
We'll know if he brings 7 white bears that he broke tournament rules and like he listened to you. But yeah, I think Killerfish. Yeah, I think he's gonna bring a balanced build, but I think Point Man's just gonna. I think he's gonna bring like a lot of 150s or like at least two is what I'm calling. And Killerfish. Well, I think Killerfish is gonna bring Imperial Guard Cab or Art. I have a feeling. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yes, we will. Here we go. Game number 5. Are you seeing this?
Yes.
Alright, so the dojos are a archery dojo and a melee dojo.
Wait till this starts.
I can't believe my eyes right now. Alright, let's wait. Let's not talk about the armies. Let's look at the ground. Don't look at the Slenderman. The Slenderman will eat you. Just stand in the corner.
Just have the little break screen up so I can still look at the units.
Close it. Close it all. Hide it all. Don't show anything.
I'm not
Hide your
showing
wife.
anything, I'm just showing things to myself.
Hide your wife. Hide your kids. I think this is going to be the most intense battle of the series.
I think so too.
Well, I guess one of the players has the other players revealed.
Yeah, it's
Probably-
Point Man. I think he's like the attacker, like on the left side. Here we go.
Alrighty then.
Do you want to go over Point Man's build?
Sure, I'll go with the Point Man's build. You know how I said we're gonna look at Killerfish's army and say, wow, that's a fucking balanced build?
Yeah.
Point Man has brought that build. This is the most balanced build anybody could bring to any total war game. Like, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of guns. Very powerful gun force. 1, 2, 3, 4 units of swords. Or is that 3? That's 3? Yeah, 3 units
yeah.
of swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of spears. And a very small, very
Yeah.
small cav force.
4 cavalry. That's like super
4 cavalry.
balanced.
This is like watching Napoleonic Wars, but you know, instead of having like spear levies, he'll have like Jaegers or something.
So for Killerfish, we got his right flank Shogunate Guard Cav and Saber Cav. So like Shogunate Guard Cav rank 5, Saber Cav rank 3, White Bear rank 2, Shogitai rank 6, Spear Levy Vanilla, Yariki rank 7, Yariki rank 7, Killerfish, his general, his Bushido general, and then more Yariki rank 7, and another unit rank 7 as well. Another White Bear. But yeah, Killerfish's build, not as balanced as Point Man's.
No, I'm actually kind of surprised. It's not as balanced at all. You know, it's still a very powerful build, but I mean, looking at what we have, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
it's very hard. Unless Point Man like screws up majorly, I think it's gonna be very difficult for Killerfish to even dent this army by Point Man here. Like
Yeah.
this build, like, is very close to perfection. Like he's got everything.
Your general is under attack.
I think like
His general's
if,
getting sniped.
Yeah, I think if Killer had some what do you call those? Some Imperial Guard Cav, I think he would have been able to deal better with Point Man's army, like just pick it off little by little, you know. Because like
Oh, I
his
totally
flanks are
agree.
exposed. Like the spear levy that's exposed right there, and like he can shoot the spears all he wants, and then he draws Point Man's Black Tortoise away or whatever, and he can go in.
Point Man being a little bit too aggressive here, I feel. Look at this left flank, it's getting completely surrounded by this White Bear. A Shogatai and a Spear Levy now coming in from the flank. He does not want that to hit him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing right now. Because
Oh, look
his
at this,
general.
he's sending his Yariki. His Yariki is now going to go for a strike at this White Bear.
And I think he's gonna. No, he's not gonna get it because there's Shogunate
Oh,
Guard Cav.
watch this on the right flank of Point Man. Looks like there's going to be a big cab engagement. But Point Man's quickly running his troops in the middle. And his Yariki here, I think his Yariki is being used very intelligently here, Prince. I think he's using them to prevent this one unit of White Bears from reloading. He's going to force them out of position, but now look at Point Man's rear. His general is so exposed now. If that unit of White Bear runs forward, they're going to have clear shots at the general. Point Man, what are you doing?
Oh, he's doing good now, though.
Yes, he is. There you go, pulling the general back. Running that spear levy forward, now turning some of his units around, taking shots at the back.
Oh, yeah, his Black Tortoise on his left flank is firing at the Yariki of Killerfish. Oh, it got only 2 kills. Nothing happened.
That was close.
Yeah.
That could have been much more fatal as it was. And now Point Man is going to look. He's sending his cavalry to hold the cavalry of Killerfish at his front. He's gonna drop a rally, use his Shogatai, but his general is getting absolutely sniped by this White Bear unit by Killerfish.
Yeah.
You know, I think what Point Man needs to do right now is he needs to push his front line a little bit forward. Because now this White Bear is just gonna keep sniping his general, and if he lets that happen, his general's gonna die.
But I think he's gonna push through with his Shogatai. He's gonna win against that Shogatai.
Shogatai is doing absolutely amazing. He's gonna close in now with some spear levy. And here comes a cavalry attack on his left flank. This one unit of Black Tortoise Force, will it turn around in time? No, it's gonna get hit. Doesn't even get a single shot off. It's gonna get slammed. And now he's dispatching Yariki. The Shogatai in the middle not looking so great again, Prince. Cav is just coming in, but Point Man is using his guns excellently. But look at all these Cav on the right side here. They're getting clean charges at these Black Tortoise Force guns, and I don't think Point Man has enough spears. This battle is in the mix.
Well, micro going on everywhere.
Indeed, very micro-intensive battle. Point Man's troops are not looking too great at places, but they're looking great at others. Killerfish's Cav is still very powerful and a very real threat.
Point Man is just playing the attrition game right now. He's trying to...
Yeah.
Oh, is Point Man General? He's getting caught by the Shogunate Guard Cav. Oh.
Ooh, will they catch him? Will they catch him?
Oh, he's dead.
Oh.
He's taken out. And I think that's gonna be a big problem for Point Man. But he's got Black Tortoise in the forest that he's not using, and they're hidden. A bit too late now for that.
They're gone.
It's pretty much over.
And there goes the GG. Ladies and gentlemen.
Killerfish.
What a game.
Yeah. That was... Wow. I'm
kind of speechless right now. I really don't know how Point Man lost that battle.
Well, I think it's like he got charged in the front, and he wasn't able to react in time with some of his spears.
I think that the main point in that fight was the following. When that White Tiger Force came in from the back and started shooting Point Man's general, what Point Man needed to do is he needed to push his Black Tortoise line away from that White Tiger. That way he would have been able to get shots at Killerfish's Cav, which was at the time still engaged in a fight with Point Man's Cav, which was meant to be a holding force. If Point Man pushed his Black Tortoises up a little bit, I think he would have been able to weaken the Cav enough so that they wouldn't be able to have a big enough impact on the battle as they did near the end there. Killerfish surrounded all of Point Man's troops, came in, killed his general. But nonetheless, this game was really close. And a really balanced build by Point Man here, but he just got outplayed just by a little bit by Killerfish. I think this is the best game in the A1C tournament that I have at least seen or / casted. Yeah. What do you think, Paul?
I think so too. Definitely.
A five game series, 2 top players. I think they played very, very well. Obviously mistakes happened in some places, but that last battle just really showed you the caliber of players that we have now in the round of 32. That was just phenomenal.
Yeah, like I said, though, my prediction Still stands 3-2 Killerfish.
3-2
was correct.
Killerfish. You were indeed correct. So I guess this is gonna wrap up this 5-game series. Pointman loses to Killerfish 3-2. Be sure, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, be sure to check out Prince. I'm gonna leave a little thingamajig in my description to his channel. If you're not already subscribed, he's awesome. You should do it.
I'm gonna do the same. Put the link
Thank you
to-
very much, Prince, for co-casting with me in your stream. It's always a pleasure.
Same here. Thank you for being here today and for casting this epic match together.
Epic match. Also, thanks to everybody in the chat room and who's watching the stream for being here. It's really great to see a lot of people get involved.
Thank you, everyone. See you next time.